Welcome to the demonstration portion for the Sutton SignWriting Standard of 2017. We will be using SignMaker 2017 to demonstrate the new fonts and characters. You can visit the first link on SignBank for SignMaker that includes a selection of international dictionaries, or you can visit the second link on GitHub to use SignMaker without any preloaded dictionaries. You can also visit the last link for the project repository where you can download the code and use it offline. SignMaker uses the new fonts available in 2017. These fonts are available for download and installation. Installation is not required, but it will improve the user experience. The initial page load will be instantaneous rather than a short delay while the fonts are remotely loaded into the browser cache. With the fonts installed, they can be used throughout the user's computer in such programs as email or document writers, spreadsheets, and other applications. For Windows, OS X, and Linux, you can simply download the files and install the same as other fonts. Alternately, for OS X, you can download and install two configuration profiles instead. The configuration profiles can also be used for iOS. When installing the configuration profiles in OS X, simply open the profile after downloading, follow the instructions, and install. Installing the profiles on iOS can take a few attempts. In the browser window, open the profile links and follow the instructions. The process can take a few minutes, and it may also take a few attempts. Your patience will be rewarded. For Android, it is not possible for the user to install the fonts directly on the Android device. However, the fonts can be loaded into the browser cache for websites that include the appropriate CSS font face statement. The initial page open will take a few extra seconds, but once loaded, the fonts will be ready to use without any additional waiting. This demonstration will be discussing the SignWriting in Unicode characters called SWU. This is an experimental Unicode design that is endorsed by the Center for Sutton Movement Writing. The characters have been submitted to the Unicode Technical Committee in July of 2017. Discussions with the UTC are ongoing. For the SWU characters, the one-dimensional font is available and will be highlighted during this demonstration. The two-dimensional font is currently in development. This presentation will show the one-dimensional font being used in SignMaker 2017. If this font is installed on a user's computer, they will also be able to use the SWU characters with a wide variety of applications. Once installed on Mac or Linux, the characters will automatically use the font for display. For Windows, the characters must have the font manually set to the Sutton SignWriting 1D font. So let's open SignMaker 2017 and take a look. Alright, here we have SignMaker 2017. I'll start out by making a sign. As I'm making the sign, you can see that the SWU characters are being populated. I can move over to the Dictionary tab, and those characters are enlarged. Right now I've only defined the spatial arrangement, so this sign cannot be sorted. If I want to be able to sort, I need to populate the sign spelling sequence. And here is the full spelling of the sign. I can select this, and I can copy this. And here I have a spreadsheet program, so I can just paste in that sign. I will make another sign. This is just a really simple one where it's just the two-hand shape. Again, I can copy this, and I can paste this. And I'll make one more sign. I'll put that over there. I'll give it a rotation. I'll change the palm facing. I'll put a head in too. Again, if I want this to be able to be sorted, sign spelling sequence. And then again, I can copy. And I can paste. Now, since I did populate the sign spelling sequence, I can select this column and I can sort it. from alphabetical, first to last, or I can reverse it from last to first. All right, so let's clear the entry. Here's just a document editor, and I have my name sign right here. And if I wanted, I could copy that, and I can take that and I can paste that into SignMaker 2017. It loads not only a spatial arrangement, but it also loads a sign spelling sequence. For a quick review, we were talking about a word, a sign that is formal sign writing. It's a two-part word of time and space. We have the first part, which is a temporal prefix, and we have the second part, which is a spatial arrangement in the spatial sign box. The spatial sign box has the coordinates, while the temporal prefix is just a sequential list of symbols. I can take this sign and I can copy it, and we can see the two parts right here again. We have the first part that is used for the sorting, and we have the second part which has our XY coordinates, and that is used for the spatial arrangement. We can actually go in here and we can edit these characters. So I will put an incorrect sign spelling sequence. In the spatial sign box, we have the symbol, and then we have an X coordinate and then a Y coordinate. So I can actually take that and I can put that in a different order. So let's take this rewritten sign. I'm going to go ahead and paste it into here. And we will notice two issues. First, our sign spelling sequence is incorrect. It will not sort properly. So we will sort it properly because we have beginning hand shape, movement, and then our location. And when we fix that sign spelling sequence, we can see that it also fixed the sequence in here. But now we have this other problem where we have an incorrect overlap with the head and the hand. If we look down in the sign spelling sequence part, the spatial sign box part, we'll see that the hand was written before the head, and that is what is causing the incorrect overlap. So I can go over to the Edit tab. I have the hand selected, and I will use the Place Over. And when we do that Place Over, we can see that the overlap is corrected. We can also go to the More tab, and then the Ping image. We'll give it a size 3. Give it a padding of 10, which will become apparent when we put in a gray background. For the fill, that is the palm facing of the hand, we could put that as transparent, but again, that's why we have a two-color font, because the overlap is important. So rather than transparent, we can make it the same color as the background. We also have a nice colorize option, so that the hand has different colors than the movement, has different colors than the head. We can copy this image, and we can paste that into a document as well. Let's see, the last thing, let's take a look at the SW characters. Previously, it was based on formal sign writing in ASCII or FSW. Well, let's go to the More tab, go to the Preferences, and then we can select FSW. And now when we go back to the Dictionary tab, we see that not only is the SW character still available, we also see the FSW characters. Let's go ahead and clear this entry, and we can just start building a new sign. Now when we start building a new sign, we can see immediately that the FSW is a lot longer and not as compact as the SWU. As we add more symbols, it becomes readily apparent. We can also start populating the sign spelling sequence and see that this gets pretty long. Now if you understand about FSW, you can actually come in here and you can change the fill or the rotation for some of these symbols. So I'm going to use rotation 1 or rotation 2, and since I'm modifying this first part,
which is the sign spelling sequence, it will modify the sign spelling sequence column here.
Alternatively, I can go in here and I can start modifying
the symbol in the sign spelling sequence as well. I can modify the rotation, or I can modify the palm facing. Personally, I like just having the SW because when we're on the dictionary tab, we have a much clearer illustration of what that sign contains. So that's just a brief introduction to the SignWriting and Unicode characters that we can use. They work very well when we have them in spreadsheets. They can also be used in any kind of document writer. And it's a very exciting time.
Thanks for watching this brief demonstration of the Sutton SignWriting Standard of 2017. With the new fonts and new characters, we have a stable platform for growth. If everyone is using the same standard, we can easily share our work and create collaborative tools where everyone can benefit. Thanks for watching. As always, I look forward to any feedback, comments, or questions.